Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at SAND. Before we jump into the price action, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on here with SAND. So we were talking about this for since we started to break down here that we were potentially looking for this retracement into this zone here of the 62.15 to this 44.88, so we actually come into the top range of this move here. So this is between that 382 and that 50%, which is sitting at this 56.49. So for the most part, we need to be aware that this could actually be a completed move once this completes into here, and then we could look to start to see that push to the upside for that C wave. Alternatively, what we have to be careful of is the fact that this doesn't all just become an A wave. We get a B wave to the upside, fail to take out some of these key highs here, and then actually look for rejection and continue lower and look to actually target down lower in this range. Losing this 44.86 zone would indicate to me, well, would make it more likely that we're actually going to come back down and take this low of this 37.52. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on this move. And the reason why we're saying is that is, we can potentially count a completed move here. We'd have to look at this as a diagonal though, where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 to the downside effectively. And it's not the neatest of counts. So what I'm also looking out for is the fact that we could also just look at this as an ABC pattern. So if this is an ABC, either that could become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a contracting diagonal here. If we only get a three-wave move to the upside here that fails to take this $1.4940, or alternatively, we could have this as simply an a B, and then a C to the downside. If we wanted to rather look at this as a X wave here instead of a fourth wave, and we're looking at the structure differently. So, there are still potentials for continuation to the downside. However, it is also possible that we could have said this is a five-wave structure low, and we set looking to either form a 1, 2, 3 up here into this 94.46 range, 4 and 5, or alternatively, this could just become an ABC. We come back down B, C, and then we could look at this structure being something else then at that point. But for the most part, what I am expecting is if we are looking for this bullish alternative here to look to push to the upside, what we'd want to do is actually overcome this 122.13 zone. That would be a 786 retracement of this move to the downside. We need to overcome that, and we'd also need to take this high for more clarity within that. But we would still have to just be a little bit cautious within this, because until we actually cross this 49.40, like I said, we could look at this whole move as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a contracting diagonal potentially. So yeah, even if we do get another five-wave move up here, it's not going to really confirm anything but a corrective structure until we actually look to push past this 94.46. So I've used the 50% for these calculations. If we come down lower here, it would change those targets. Okay, so within this, what I'm looking at, if we come into here, this move over here is it's a bit tricky to count because we can potentially count this as an A, a B, and a C into here for an A wave. And then effectively what we could have is this is just a B wave connector in here. And then 1, 2, 3 into this low rather. So it'd be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're looking for this fifth wave potential here. So this is still possible. We could be looking to push down here towards this zone of this 0526 to this 0586 range. And what I'd be looking out for here would be that potential to actually come back down and maybe retest this channel line. Looking at this potential there, 1, 2, 3, which could still be within its third wave here. Alternatively, we could have completed. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, it could push down one more time here. Just want to see, did it actually read 1618? So we've moved down to this 1618 here. It'll be important to see whether we get a rejection here and then actually continue to the downside. So off of here, this zone here of this 50% to this 382 zone, That would be the higher range, but 236s would satisfy that requirement. But if we only move back up here towards this 50% zone, we could look for the potential to actually have three-wave structure come up here and then actually still look to continue to the downside. So we need to be aware of that. And the typical zone I'd be looking for would be this area here, like I said, of this 59.26 to this 57.86. If, however, we start to break down deeper, potentially we could look to challenge this channel line or maybe move down to that 1618 sitting at this 57.86. The thing we've got to be careful with within the structure is there is potential of some extension within here because I'm looking at this just singularly as a actually that's in the wrong place. That's is supposed to be here. It's be 1, 2 complicated, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so within this, we could also argue that within the structure, we've got some additional ones and twos within this move, where we could look at this as a 1, 2 into here, and this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there, 4, 5, and then we'd have another 1, 2 at the top of this move here. That is a possibility, and we could see this extend down. If it does extend down, this 1 to 1 would actually bring us to this 58, 54.80. So if we do actually look to break down deeper here, this 54.80 could be a zone we look for retrace or look for support to come in, as well as this B wave position here of this 56.49 would be a 50% retracement of this entire move to the upside. So keep an eye on those levels. This could be a little bit of a zone here that we could see a turnaround if we actually look to push through this zone. It doesn't have to come down to this 1 to 1. It's met the requirement already. And like I said, we need to be a little bit careful that we don't have further extension because then we could start to argue we have some additional ones and twos in here and it could break down. So we're going to go over that in a second, but just wanted to talk about this bullish potential here. So what you'd be looking for is, like I said, this support zone to hold. This 44.86, if we start to lose that, it becomes less probable. The 1 to 1 currently would bring us to this 54.80, although you need to just remember sometimes these moves can start to extend out and just like they do to the upside where they form additional 1 2 1 2s and then start to move up in a bigger structure, they can do this to the downside as well. So we could start forming 1 2 1 2. This could then become a 1 2, then we start to break down something like that and it starts to get more messy. But for the most part, we've achieved the Y wave 1 to 1, and this C wave 1 to 1 would be my next sort of target I'm looking at here. If we do look to push down beyond this 59.26 to this 57.86 range, so that'll be the primary target. If we do look to break down deeper, then that 50% comes into play. That 54.80, and if it continues down, then we'll be looking potentially towards this golden pocket area here of the 618, which is this 51.17 to this 49.93. So that's what we've been looking for that potential within that. I just want to quickly go over this possibility. If we treat this, however, as completed into this high point here, and the reason why I'm looking at that is because of that diagonal option. If I just jump back up here into the bigger time frame, we've actually taken a rejection here off of this 618 line. So, we technically could actually just look at this complete here and then break down if this is not in fact a five-wave structure. And then we could actually just look to break down and take this low. So we need to just be aware of that. I am counting it as one. It does look like one with the internal counts, but sometimes we can get very tricky B waves, which do something like this, which can sort of look like a five-wave move and then it sort of breaks down and then actually looks to push down deeper. So we need to just be a bit careful within this. If we start to lose those key support zones, then we could see something like this play out. So this is looking for that potential, like I said, that we've got further extensions within this move. So the key areas here, I'm going to go over this. This looks complicated, but it's really not that bad. So what we'd be looking at is within here that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then potentially a fifth wave to come down here. So much the same as the other option. If this does extend down towards this 5717 area, we'd have to be aware that we could then actually start to count this as like this 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if we fail to actually break above these fourth wave highs here at the 64.04, what we could then look for is this continuation to the downside. And then this could actually look to continue to break down where these become additional fourth waves, which look to target out the same sort of areas here. This will form a bit of a zone in there, and then look to actually break down deeper. So the key target here, out of these, if we're looking for a bigger five-wave structure down, would actually be looking to come down towards the zone of this 49.46. A breakdown into this level would make us have to look for this fourth wave here and see whether we get an additional rejection here in a five-wave move. And this, this could look to extend out. If we've got this many waves extending, this could actually push down much lower than my targets that I currently have here, because what will happen is sometimes the internals of these waves will also extend. So these are just a guideline. The most important one here, if we're looking at it from a bigger picture, would be looking at this potentially as a 1, 2, and then this is the third wave target. So if we do push down past that 49.46 zone, then we need to start looking out for this potential of a fourth wave and one more fifth wave to the downside. The problem is, within this, having a single five-wave move down like this would indicate that this was going to then become an A wave potentially. We'd get a B wave to the upside, and then we'd look for that continuation in that C wave down. So yeah, we have to see how this plays out. If this continues to break down here, yeah, watch this 49.46, and then we'll have to see whether we get that evidence of that fourth, or whether it actually just reverses from that point. Because the thing is, within that zone, we're sitting right in the middle of this support area as well. So even if we do move down to that 61618, we'd have to see evidence of that fourth wave and then that continuation of that fifth wave. Otherwise, this could just be an extended C wave here, where this becomes ABC. We come down towards that level, and then we come back up here, take this wave one low, and that would invalidate any potential for an impulse to the downside, unless it is a diagonal. So this is the area to watch. I mean, for the most part, we're right in there. If we do move down to this 5926 to this 5786, potentially we could start to look to reverse to the upside from there, and then it'll be important to see how we react. If we let me just throw this fib on here. So if we move to the upside from this low point here, effectively what we'd need to be careful of is this zone over here. We can see there's a whole little range here. I'm actually going to make this red. So this whole little area here between the 754, 7514 and this 858 area, this could be a whole little zone of rejection if we do move back to the upside in a three-wave structure. So keep an eye on this. Potentially we could look to come back up and test this channel line, which could set us up for a 618 retracement. Alternatively, we might not even get that high, and this could actually just start to break down. But any kind of a move to the upside here, we need to be cautious if it's only in three-wave move, in three waves, and it comes up into the zone, because like I said before, this could then just become the A wave. This would be a B potentially, and then we push down one more time to complete this B wave that we have over here, and that this would then effectively just move over. So need to be careful of that. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. As well as that, you'll also find affiliate links for Prime XBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out if you do not have an account. Using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care out there, everybody.